Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renatus team call. This is your host, Keely Austin. Today is Takeoff Tuesday. It's June 2nd. And as of right now, we've got 62 participants on the line. Make sure that you reach out to your team. We don't want any ICMs left behind. Today, we get to learn from Bill Predebon. Bill Predebon, we are so fortunate to get to learn from him because he has been in this business many, many years. I think before Renatus was Renatus, he was involved with the previous company. So he's been around for close to 10 years and he's got a lot of experience, a lot of great things to share with us. Bill is both doing great things on the marketing side of the business and as well as the real estate side of the business. And he has so much to share with us. Bill's story is really incredible. Before Renatus, he was a pro skier for 10 years in Vail, Colorado, and realized he was not qualified to do much else. He then bought some stores and was in the franchise world. And due to lack of knowledge, that ended up costing him that business and he ended up losing it. In 2007, he heard about real estate investing. He attempted real estate investing on his own and ended up upside down in over $400,000 during the 2008 crash. After that is when he found Renatus, and Bill ended up making 8 times more in his first year than he did the previous year as both a loan officer and a realtor. Fast forward to today, Bill has completed around 150 deals. It's more than that by now. And he's grossed multiple 7 figures in real estate, all from what he's learned with this education. He's a marketing leader and a PIT team member, meaning he's in training to be on the PAC with our CEO. The PAC is President's Advisory Council. And we are just so fortunate to get to learn from Bill this morning. Good morning, Bill. How are you?
Hey, Keely. I am great. I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for putting this together every morning. I like what Michael said yesterday. Could you imagine if you showed up late? We'd all be stressed out and wondering what we did wrong and why we can't log in and where we're going. So without you, we do not move. In fact, without everybody on this call, we do not move forward, right? At least not as well. So I greatly appreciate all you do, Keely. It's just awesome being introduced to you. I love being your friend and hanging out and working with you here in the Scottsdale team. And I know you're working as well quite a bit on the Utah Denver team with Michael and his group and everybody. So that's just awesome. I know you put a lot of time and effort and it pays off. And I just really appreciate it. I cannot tell you how cool it was to see the London what am I trying to say? Generally speaking, that was super cool. It brought me back to one of the best trips of my life and how grateful I was to be a part of that. And that's just because of meetings just like this. So thanks again, Keels. Thanks everybody for being here. I'm stoked to have you here. Reach out to your team. No one left behind. We're gonna do a special training this morning. I had something planned, but I'm assuming most of you were on the comp plan training webinar yesterday, introduction to the new comp plan, which is awesome. So we can go wherever you want to go with this, but I have a special guest, Mr. Michael Huggins himself is on the line with me. He's gonna jump in and chime in. He's spent, you guys, the PAC have been training on this for a while. They've been consulting, Mr. Bob Snyder on the what would be beneficial. Probably, they experience the most with the number of people they get in contact with and what people desire and mention to them as far as, the complications with a plan or whatever it is. And, Bob probably doesn't necessarily need people. He's been doing this for 30 years, but he advises with these folks. So Michael's real familiar with how this comp plan was built, why it was built, and where it's going. Yet we still have so many scenarios on the grandfathering that we're gonna, that are gonna come into play. So we're gonna talk about that. So we're blessed to have him on the phone and on the line to help us kind of sift through this comp plan. But I will tell you, it's not complicated. It is an easy, simple plan if you want to call it that. There he is. Hey, brother. Good morning, my man. Well, you always look good in the morning. Oh, you're off mute or on mute.
All right. Hey, good morning, everyone.
There he is. Morning, everybody. So, Michael, should we just start taking questions? You want me to kind of run through the basics and the theoretical reasons behind it, or?
I'd like to give everyone an example of if you were sitting down in a one-on-one, how you would explain it. Brand new guest, brand new person, and let's work out the kinks here so that when folks go out and talk about it, they can see what we need to do to improve, so they can improve already.
All right. All right. So we are in a one-on-one. Let's see. Host disabled part. Do you want to share yours, Michael? You want me to share mine? You want me to talk through it? You write it?
No, if you can share, go for it.
All right. So my question, okay. Let's go with the whiteboard. All right. Everybody can see that. You can see that, all right? I'll pull up the chit chats just so I guess you can kind of monitor that too as well, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Happy Tuesday. Sheena, welcome. All right. Whew, I'm on the spot because Michael's on the line. I have not done a one-on-one with this, so we're going to run through it together, folks. So this is going to be kind of fun. All right. So brand new, you guys have seen a epic or a property tour, kind of been exposed to Renatus, the community, the opportunity, and probably not too much on the compensation plan. You probably heard maybe that there's a referral system of something like that. So I'm going to be talking to you, and one of the things that I mentioned yesterday is, and you guys can chat and jump off. You guys know you can interrupt and whatever you need to do. But one of the things that I think is very important about this, and this is my interpretation, my opinion, but you know why we did this, right? I mean, it's evolving, it's creating more value, it's simplifying, it's being more compliant with the FTC and the SEC. There's a lot of basic, or I should say larger vision reasons for doing this comp plan. It's not outdated, it's current. And plus it stimulates the economy. It stimulates the Renatus economy by putting money in people's pocket quicker and all kinds of things. So along those lines, you have the opportunity here now to market to, we generally speaking, I'm not saying always, but generally speaking, we put out advertisements, ads, we call up people to talk about real estate investing, to talk about paying down debt, to talk about improving your credit or getting a rental property or buying your first home. These are all very powerful things that Renatus offers in our education. We rarely ever, if ever, lead with, and I'm not saying we're going to just do that anyway, but one of the things that we're able to do with Renatus that we don't necessarily lead with is offer an at-home business, someone who needs money quickly, somebody who wants to get out of their job or work from home or supplement their income and things like that. Now, of course, real estate can do that, but it's a little bit more of a time process. And this can be a pretty relatively fast business. When we crossed that bridge originally, and I'm going to jump into this, and this is what I would be telling people too, like if I'm in a one-on-one, right? So I'm asking them and they're like, hey, I'd want to do these things too. Now I can jump in and go, listen, we've got this system that enables you to start doing this. And for $197, okay, so and I have a pen here with me, but I just got this brand new computer that is touchscreen. So I wonder if it lets, oh, look at that. I can write with my finger, which means I can also write. It's even better. This big brand new Dell computer, and it's a big 27-inch screen TV, and it's super fun. Okay, so but it's not going to take my pen. Let's see. No, it's going to take my finger, which means maybe, oh, wait. One of those little soft pen things, which I don't have. All right, we'll worry about it later. So for I'm on eraser, that's why. 197. All right. So for 197, ooh, don't move that, per year. That's our annual fee, right? As you guys know, it's not a fee. It's a I don't even know what I call it anymore. It's a administration fee, if you will, annually that we pay for. So you have the proprietary rights to sell the information, to offer our services and sell it, as well as you are offered your Helios back office and a lot of training. All right, so you guys all know that. So for 197, you can get started with a business. Now, in the past, we were always wanting, Billy, in the past, we were like, okay, but there's no purchase required, but well, it's going to take a lot longer to do it. And you trip over it, right? You're like, well, if you pay 20 grand, you're going to have this better business. And so it wasn't, we were doing that to entice anybody. It was just the system. It encouraged people to get started with the education. Plus, if you start making money, you've got to learn how to invest the money so you don't end up broke at a higher level, all these things, right? So now we're like, listen, there's no purchase required. You can literally start your business and enroll a student tomorrow and make 30% of the commission, okay? Of the gross CV, right? The gross commission value on that particular product that you're selling, on any product. And right now, you guys, well, I'm going to do a little bit before and after, but as you guys know, there's no more necessarily, you don't have to qualify on 3 different levels. It's just stages as to where you become qualified, okay? So we'll remember that. I'm not going to use my finger because that's pretty big. Oh, you know what I'll do is I'll go right here. All right. Man, that's terrible. Okay, stages. So you have 1 star, as you know, that's a 5 gig. And if you guys have questions on those, Michael will check the chat and then we can clarify. These are the simple things. 15K, right? And then you are 5-starred once you hit 50K. Okay, what that just means is cumulative value. That means on any product, if you sell essentials, 2 grand. If you sell a billing and you in the upfront, combo is 5 grand down, that's $2,500. Those are the generated commissions, okay? So it's cumulative commission over time. You reach these pinnacles, and at this point, you start out tomorrow. Okay, so I'm talking to you now. I'm going back to my one-on-one. I'm gonna be like, Billy, check it out, bro. Tomorrow, you can enroll someone in any of our 3 services. Remember, it's simple, you guys. We only sell 3 services, right? We have the essentials, we have the profits, and we have the AIT. So the coolest thing is if you can sell any one of our services tomorrow. You can enroll a student, your friend, your family member, your buddy who's been talking about real estate investing, and bam, you're going to make 30% of that gross commission. And I'll get the commissions in a minute, commission value. As soon as you hit the $5,000 mark, where we're going to reward you for obviously getting trained, for learning more about it, things like that. Again, no purchase required, but we're going to get to that. So you've got this once you hit $15,000 in cumulative value, maybe you sold a combo and you made $10,000 commission, you're going to make $3,000 on that, right? But your trainer, if you will, since I enrolled you, I'm going to be training you. And so I'm going to get the $7,000 difference. I'm your 5-star. But here's the cool thing. Boom, 1 sale, you're already at $10,000 generated. So now you're making 40%, which, darn it, you got to be smarter than the board. So now you're making 40% between 5 grand and 15 grand. So that next 10 grand of accumulated value commissions that you've generated, you're going to earn 40% of that gross cumulative value commission. So for example, you sell another combo, right? You're already at 10,000. So on the 5, now check it out. I don't want to be too detailed. I'm just letting you guys know. So on the 5 grand, all right, on the 5K, you're going to make 40%. And now you've reached 3-star status. So then on the other 5K, you're actually going to make 50%. I'm not going to break that down too much unless you guys have questions. But this first 5K, which you earned $10,000, you made 30%. And then you made, on the additional 5K, you actually made 40%. That's complicated, you guys. It's not complicated. That is a little bit more detailed. So anyway, I'm doing this one-on-one. So I'm letting people know that they can start making money tomorrow. Okay. So on any of the services that we sell. All right. So I'm gonna break that down for you guys just a little bit more. So you are in a one-on-one and you can actually be clear on that. Because we call that an overflow. When you pass a certain threshold, 5, 15, or 50, your 5 or 15, your commission will then change automatically in the system. So when you're getting 1-star qualified, it's 0 to 5K, you're making 30%. But when you make your $5,101, you'll actually make 40% on that $1. Okay, does that make sense? So 2, if you become a 3-star, right? That's at the 5,001 to 15K. You're making 40% of the gross CV. I should not be using my finger, you guys. I'm sorry. How's that look, Michael? All right. So of the gross CV, all right? And then once you make $15,001, you're now making 50% of the commission until you're 5-star qualified. Okay? And once you hit a 50 grand worth of cumulative value, commission value total, you'll be considered 5-star qualified in the system, and you break away. Okay? And we all know that as you basically, you know, I used to tell you in the one-on-one, you become you become 100% earning of the commission offered, and you own your own business, if you will. You're no longer in a training process. You're no longer splitting any commissions or anything like that. In this case, you've broken away and you're starting your own team. And so the cool thing about starting your own team is that I'm going to share with you where these commissions go, right? And I'm going to break down the commissions schedule so that you can see, because you're going to say, oh, well, if I make 30%, who makes the other 70, or who makes the other 50% when I'm making 50% of the commission? So I'm going to share with you how you can get into that, because that is going to go to your trainer. So you ultimately want to become what? The trainer, right? You want to be that 5-star qualified. Someone in my training yesterday, that I wouldn't be saying this in the one-on-one, but someone in our team call yesterday was like, oh, it's not that important to be 5-star anymore. You know, there's more emphasis on just selling. Well, no, not at all. The end goal is obviously 5-star, right? Because you want to be sharing other people's efforts while you're training them. That's the whole purpose of a leveraged business. We just want to get people there faster. We want to get people more motivated by compensating them, right? Motivate, compensate, motivate, and things like that. All right, so Chicago not opening up for a while. Okay. Still refraining from marketing any of the education until further notice. Wow, Frank. Okay. So I'm not totally, okay. So I'll hit you up in a minute here, Frank, as we go through this, just checking this. If you are 3-star, do you make 50% commissions on any sale you make? Yes. So if you're 3-star, and you guys know the gift was beyond what I even knew was possible when they talked about attending the Nationals. The PAC members were adamant about getting your Nationals ticket and the advantage you would have. So it was a great advantage back in our old compensation plan. But in this compensation plan, it's amazing, right? I mean, this gift is unbelievable. So you enrolled in the education, even if you didn't, and you were an ICM at Nationals with a ticket, bam, you were granted 5-star status. There was no purchase required of the Profits course regardless. So you may have been brand new. You may have been here for 2 years and you decided to attend Nationals. Boom, you now in this compensation plan, you are already at the 3-star level, okay? So this is National. Because of that, you do not have to be 1-star anymore. You're not going to go backwards. You're already up past the $5,000 threshold. Now you're actually at the $15,000 threshold. So at that status, you are now between 15 and 50. There's $35,000 worth of gross sales that you need to make between essentials, profits, combos, epics, whatever you're selling. Altogether, total, you're going to make 50% of those 35,000. So you've never made $1, but you could sell an epics tomorrow, and you're going to make half of 11,200. Okay, and then you're going to continue to do that until you hit the $50,000 threshold. If your last sale put you at 52,250, you're going to make 50% of the 50 grand up to the 50 grand, and you're going to take home the other $2,250 to yourself 100%, because you will then be broken away and you will be the 5-star mentor. So that commission will go into your pocket 100% of the gross commission. So to answer your question, yes, you make any 50% of all your sales, you're sharing that with your 5-star. Okay. I'm going to show a slide in a minute when we'll talk about the differences of where the rest of the commissions goes, because now there's not just 1-star and 5-star, there's the 3-star in the middle. And there's 3 different levels of commission splits. All right. So with that, we were saying, yeah, so that should answer your question. So I have okay, Chicago's not opening back up. And Frank, I want you to know there's always a positive spin to this. You know, there's always a choice that we can make as to how we can view things, right? So I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying, and we've all been there. Trust me. There's been days when I've been on the pit and I've been like, what am I doing? Like this Zoom thing, 15 people, you know, or we used to have 150 people. Now I got 5 people on my call. Where's everybody going, right? So I totally understand your message here. So it would be nice to make a single dollar from marketing, but not here yet, but not yet here. Okay, so we'll get to that. Renata's training offices need to open up already, as this is a mess. So, you know, unfortunately, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion and the things that I've learned, because I'm 51, so I'm old. I can't even believe I just said that. I'm not old. In being in business for myself, that if you have that belief, you're going to be stuck there, and it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Probably will take a little bit more time, and you're going to have to fight some demons to get to where you want to be making money in this compensation plan. You know, when you listen to Michael's training, please do on Monday. When you listen to Dane Clark, if you don't listen to me on Tuesdays, but whatever training you can get around. Scott Rowe and Nancy Rowe obviously have put together one of the greatest teams in the planet, and you're in good hands out in Chicago. So get on some of these trainings. Here's the thing. Right now, you know, there's a lot of mess in the world, and people need this. People aren't even going back to work because the unemployment pays them more, but that's going to run out. People can't go back to work because their jobs don't exist anymore. I went to the gym yesterday for the first time because we just opened up, and I knew like one person, and I go to the gym every freaking day, and none of my old people were there. Now, maybe they just weren't working that day because it was pretty ghost townish, but you get the point. There was a lot of changeover. So people need what we have to offer. Right now, with this marketing plan, you can look at this, Frank, and go, okay, the offices aren't open, but holy crap, can I use social media? Anybody been on social media with the riots and the corona and all that stuff going on? I mean, it's 1.8 billion people are on there every 5 minutes of the day looking at this stuff. You've got a lot of people you can talk to, buddy. So, you know, get with your 5-star, get with your leadership there. You're going to get taken care of. And this compensation plan is going to take you to where you want to go. Not making money yet. I like that you said not yet. So that's good. You know you're going to make it. So pay attention here, and we're going to get you there. Right, buddy? Just you have a choice on how you want to view this mess that you call it. It could be an opportunity instead of a mess. All right, folks? All right. Yes, 50. Michael answered. Great. Thank you. Illinois is strong, but needs to get out of this mess. Thank you. Yes, I wish I was here in the Caribbean, Wanda. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would say, Michael, you guys, Frank, just so you know, and everybody across, you know, whenever someone has a comment, it's really interesting because it's specific to them, but it pertains to all of us. And not only will it pertain to all of us, but it pertains to you and your 5-star. When you're 5-star and you're bringing people on, even now in your case, when you're 1-star, it's going to be amazing what you're about to see. You know, these things, when we answer these things, it can pertain to you. And so Michael says, you know, people have joined us in the last 3 months. It's not like we haven't had any sales. In fact, I've had, I think, 4 sales in the last 3 months, right? Or it might even be 5 people that have joined my team. So in that time frame, understand that none of us had an office. And so when Michael says thousands, he probably, I mean, people are making tens of thousands, including me, over the last 3 months that for people that have never gone to an office, right? So there's what he's saying is there's been people that joined us and then started making money in the compensation plan and have never even been to an office even prior because they joined in the last 4 months. Does that make sense? All right, so possibilities everywhere. Bringing people in person. I will tell you, Frank, and this for everybody, and then we're gonna move on. You're 100% correct. There's no question this is a belly-to-belly business, okay? This is a belly-to-belly business, but it does not mean that you cannot get personal on social media. All right, it takes a skill set. That's not my skill set. It's not my forte, but excuse me, but there are people I know. Sandy Girl is killing it, building her business and her online persona online. So, all right. So, awesome, Mike. Read those chats, Frank. Michael's got a lot. These guys and Megan, everybody's got a lot of good advice for you, brother, because they've all been there. You're not alone on a ship by yourself. Trust me on that. Okay, so let's look at this comp plan. All right, so you guys are pretty familiar. That's the easy part, or it's not. That's all easy, but that is simple. You know your system. Now, when there's a shared commission, I'm going to be talking to this individual, right? And you're on my one-on-one right now, and I can't erase because I have too many fingers. So you're going to be on this one-on-one, and I'm going to be like, okay, so check it out. The cool thing is you want to get to this 5-star, okay? Now remember, and I'm going to say this a dozen times if I say it once. If I'm in a short sale situation and I'm at a house with a BPO agent or an appraiser, I'm mentioning the price 50 times if I mention it once. I'm talking about the hardship of the individual. I'm building a relationship. I'm describing the family situation. I am telling them this house is only worth 50 grand. It's only worth 50 grand. It's 50,000. Whatever my offer is, I'm even going lower than that, right? I am trying to create a value. I am putting it out into the universe that eventually this guy's going to go home and he's going to be looking at comps that say 150 and he's going, yeah, but the thing is only worth 50 grand, right? That's what I want. Same thing here. Obviously, we want to enroll our students in the education. If you listen to Kiyosaki and anything in the planet, I'll be talking to this individual about this, right? When you start making money, and you're going to make a lot of money, you're going to, I might, have my disclosure sheets, of course, 1%, the 10%, and the 100 and the 90% of the people in the first year make so-and-so. Deliver that thing in person, my disclosure. But I'm going to say, yeah, I got people like Michael Huggins making almost $1 million a year in this compensation plan, right? So you've got the potential, and that's a very short, long period of time, right? It's not 50 years. It's 3, 5, 8, 10 years, right? Anything's possible. What are you capable of, right? So the whole time I'm letting them know, like, listen, if you're following Kiyosaki, which obviously you have, you're looking to be an entrepreneur and an investor, you got to be able to learn how to put that money somewhere. So you need this education eventually, sooner than later, so that when you're making all this cash, you're gonna have to put it to work, and it can make you 20, 30%. So now you're gonna have a bunch of jobs making you money, right? Called houses and things like that you don't even have to work at. All right. So we're going to get you in the education, no problem. I'm going to say that 50 times if I say it once. But in the meantime, you can get to work right away, right? Now, you notice you're in a training period. So I told you make 30% of your first 5 grand. Well, okay, where does the rest of that money go? So if I'm $0, okay, to 5K, I'm trying to get 1 star. I'm going to make a 30% commission. I should say split, right, of the CV. All right. And so in the essentials, and I'll break this down. I know you guys know this, so I don't have to do this very much, but I'm just gonna show it now. For a one-on-one, you guys, the more clear it is, the better it is for everybody. So, all right. So in the essential, your CV is what? 1K. Okay. In the profit, thank God you guys are not brand new sitting on here. I know some of you are. That spells profit, just so you know. The profits course, right? Your CV is 1,200. Then you got the advanced. And then you've got your extreme. All right, and we've got our combos. So I'll just stick with the extreme combo is going to be 10. And the epics combo is going to be 11,200. All right. So those are our, ooh, that would be nice. Those are our gross commissions, right? Our, what we would call our CVs, our commission value. All right. So in your split, as a newbie, you're going to split this. So $300 is a 30% split. So where does the $700 go, right? And so this is what I'm going to be explaining to my one-on-one. I'm going to be like, listen, the cool thing is I'm caring about you, right? Sharon's caring. I'm having a conversation with you. We're working through, getting into some real estate investing. That's all we do here in Arizona. As you know, you see your neighbors flipping a house. But in the meantime, you and I were speaking, and you mentioned something to me that made me think of this, right? You said to me, man, I really don't want to go back to work. I went last Monday for the first time, and it's just not the same place. And I miss my family, whatever it is, right? So I've got an opportunity for you to start working from home, making money tomorrow, right? So the good news is I'm training you. And when I'm training you, I'm going to get compensated for helping you out because I've been doing this a little bit longer. You and I are going to have conversations with people like you that you bring to me. So in the meantime, because I'm 5-star qualified, which means that I am your highest ranking officer. I'm kidding. I'm your mentor, right? You're not your mentor. I'm your coach. I'm coaching you through the system, working with all your folks. I'm going to make that 70%. Okay. So I think Tom, you raised your hand. Michael, can you come off mute? Tom, did you have a question? Just checking these chats. All right, no worries. All right, you guys are having great conversations. Thanks for helping everybody out and being positive on these chats. I love it. All right, so now you can see you want to get to that position of 5-star where you break away, and I'm going to explain that in a minute, where you break away from me as your trainer into your own business and you become the trainer, right? And so you can share these splits with somebody. So now when we move into the 40% split, all right, and you are now what we would call 1-star qualified. You've gained over $5,000 in gross. You've generated by selling $5,000 or more of commission values, where you were taking a 30%. Now you're going to go to 40. So you're going to only do this for another $10,000. So your next 10K, let's just say it's a combo, right? It's an Extreme Plus combo. Extreme Plus combo is $10,000 earned, right? That's a $20,000. And he knows this, or she. I've already gone through this. That's a $10,000 gross commission, right? So you're going to make $4,000. How cool is that? That's you. But because I'm your 5-star, I'm going to go ahead and make $6,000. The 60%. All right. Bill, can you give an example in-house billing? And you sent that to me privately, Glenn. We'll touch on that right before. We didn't spend a lot of time on it. Michael probably spent more time on it. I have my own vision of what that looks like. I think it's very simple. You guys, it is pretty simple to my knowledge, but I'll get to a billing example. So in this case, I'm talking the one-on-one. Check it out. Now you're making a little bit more money. Now, when you add the 10 and the 5, you're already at 15,000. So now you're what we call 3-star qualified. Once you go to 3-star qualified, you're going to make 50% for the next 35K, right? So you guys understand that. Now, to complicate things a little bit for your demonstration, and I would use a pen and paper, and I would be a little bit better at writing down than this. This is confusing to people. So I recommend that you do not do it this way, and that you do it where you actually have a decent pen and paper, and you can write it down, or a notepad or an iPad, and you can do it a little bit better. And I thought I had a pen here, but I should have had one of those little softy things. And I have one, and of course, the one time I need them, when I see them all the time, and my cat chews on them, you would think that I'd have it right here when I need it, and I don't. Maybe my eraser one works. Nope. Okay. So with that, I'm going to say, so just a little breakout. I'm going to let you guys know this is for you and not necessarily for them. I want you to know that, let's see, I can put it right here. If there's let's just say that there is a 3-star qualified person, right? And your 1-star, this is so cool. So understand that, let's just say you are an ICM today and you go out and make a sale tomorrow, and they buy the, you own nothing. So you're not 1-star qualified, and you remember your purchases are no longer, this is in the new comp plan. This isn't grandfathering over. And you make a sale and you now have generated, let's call it $10,000, a normal combo, extreme combo. And so now this individual has bought this education, and they're coded to you. They're an ICM, they're coded to you. They're whatever they purchase, they're coded to you. So if this person becomes an ICM and they go out and make a sale, you are going to be 1-star qualified. So believe it or not, you will be their 1-star. So you will, as their 1-star, because you enrolled that person, let's just say I'm your 5-star. I'm going to show you this. So this is me. Okay. This is you. And then here's your newbie, right? If I'm your 5-star and you become 1-star qualified, and the newbie, right? The newbie buys an essentials, okay? Then, and this is your newbie. Understand that, man, I'm screwing this up. The newbie comes in and sells an essentials, all right? So the newbie is going to make 30% of that 2K, but I'm not going to make the 70%. You will make the 70%, okay? Because you're their 1-star. If you weren't 1-star, it would pass up to your 1-star. But because you're 1-star qualified, you can immediately start making money. Like the people are enrolled to you. As soon as you get to 3-star, you would make the difference of anybody below you buying anything up to 3-star qualification. I hope that makes sense. Lost sound, be back. Okay, it's clearly legible. Thank you. So let me explain this. Let me say this again. Whatever rank, that's not a good word, whatever star you are, whatever qualification level you're at, you don't have to wait till you're 5-star till you are starting to make money enrolling students, okay? You're gonna break away at 5-star and you're gonna have your own full 100% team. You're broken away, you no longer split any commissions with anybody on commissions you're selling, right? Your direct sales. But you've already started a team. You're coded to you. And so everything will pay the person right above that person, right? In a qualifying level. So what that means is if you're unqualified, right, then you are making a sale. In order to get qualified, you have to make $5,000 to be in an earning position, right? So you're going to make, don't even have to say that. That's not even true. You're going to make on your direct sale, you're going to make the split. But that direct sale, let's just say someone comes in, you've never bought anything, and somebody comes in and they buy a $10,000 package, all right? Let's just stick with the 10,000. So they're going to buy an extreme combo. You, because you're not 1-star qualified, you're going to make 30% of the first $5,000, as you know, and then you're going to make 40% of the second $5,000. And that's going to bring you to a 1-star qualification level. Your mentors above you, not mentors, your affiliates, the people that are above you are going to make the difference, right? But that person that bought the combo belongs to you. And let's just say they become an ICM and they go out and make a sale before you make your next sale. Well, because you're 1-star qualified, anything they make in the essentials level is going to pay you because you're the direct 1-star of that person. Anything above the 1-star level will roll up to your either 3-star or your 5-star. Typically, most of us in this case, until later, we don't have a 3-star above us, right? Typically. Now, an example would be if you went to nationals and you're 3-star and the comp plan starts in 2 weeks and you make your first sale and your first sale makes your first sale. Because you're 3-star and they sell at profits, your 5-star will not make the difference. You will make the difference.
Oh, that's not entirely correct. Because the 1-star is at 40%, the 3-star is at 50%. So if you have a 3-star above you and there's a 5-star above them, then the 3-star gets the 10%. You get the 40%. The 3-star gets the 10%.
Yes.
5-star gets the 50%.
That's why I need to write it out. So that's very clear. My point to all that, and that's when you'll see this on if I had mine. And Michael, if I don't know if you want to share that screen, from the yesterday's webinar when he puts up that slide. But so I'll write that down real quick. You're exactly right. So the cool thing is that you do not have to wait until you are 5-star qualified. So, I mean, and technically you didn't before because we had the little tiny startup bonus, but this is real income. Not that that wasn't, but you guys understand what I'm saying. This is you making money even as a 3-star, a 1-star, 3-star, all right? So what Michael's saying is, bam, okay, so we're gonna have a 1-star, we're gonna have a 3-star, and we're gonna have a 5-star. So I'm gonna say that Michael's my 5-star, that Bill is the 3-star, and Tom is the 1-star, okay? And so this is in the new comp plan, or whatever, you grandfathered over. So we got 5K, 15, and 50. So Michael came over 5-star. I came over 3-star because I went to nationals. Now, I enrolled Tom, and Tom is going to make a sale. All right. So Tom sells an Extreme Plus combo, not an Epix, but just Extreme. So the CV is 10K. All right. So Tom is going to, there's a split right here. So check it out. On the first 5K, there's a 30% split. That 30% rolls to Tom. But because I'm 3-star, between the 5 and the 10K, there's 5K, right? I got to make sure I don't even know what the heck I'm doing. Of this 30% split, the 10% will go to me, and Michael Huggins will receive the additional 60% on this first 5K. It's so cool. And remember, if Tom is 5K, this is going to bring him to 15K when he makes this sale here because he's already 1-star. But in the meantime, right, there's another 5 to 10,000 that is being split, and that's going to go here. This Tom will not make it because he's not 3-star qualified, but Bill is 3-star qualified. So of this $5,000, Bill will make, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, I will make the 40% of this other $5,000, and Michael will make 60% of the other $5,000. You're on mute.
No, you would just make 10%. So Tom would get $1,500. You would get $500, and your 5-star would get $3,000.
Well, Tom's not going to make anything on the. Oh yeah, he would. Oh, you're right. So he would make. Well, he'd make. He's already 1-star qualified, so he's going to make 30% of the entire thing.
If he's 1-star, then he gets 40%.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I sent you the screenshots. Is there a way for you to pull it up on this?
Did you text him?
Yeah.
I'd have to email him.
Oh, I can email them to you. We're getting better, everybody.
Yep.
I don't know about Bill. He's just confused.
Go ahead.
What's up, Susan? Or Ruthie?
Nothing. I'm just trying to find a place to go. Sorry, I'm off of mute.
All right, Bill, what's your email?
B, and then my last name, Predebon, Predebon@Yahoo. So Wanda says, Claire, okay, so yeah, we're always learning, exactly. So I'm going to go to draw again. Man, I wish I had I'm going to use my better finger. Nobody lay a hand on my better finger. Okay. If Tom is 1-star and Tom sells a combo. Okay, so you're right, he's making 40%. So there's a 10K, it's going to be split. Tom is going to make 4K. I'm going to make the difference of 10% of that commission. Trying to think. Yeah. So I guess I'll make 1,000, right? And the 5-star is going to make 5,000.
Yep.
Now, if this individual right here that buys this combo, all right, we're going to call him A. Understand? So this is where I was going. So if A makes a $10,000 sale, well, it's a $20,000 sale, but it's a $10,000 CV. Okay. Tom, I'm going to pretend, is the 1-star. He didn't get 3-star qualified yet. Just stick with me on this. So of this 10K, the individual that makes the sale is going to get the 30%. Okay, so that's $3,000 on their very first sale. You guys all know that. Tom is the 1-star. So Tom is going to make a 10% of that. Right? And then Bill is the 3-star, is also going to make the difference. Yeah, I don't know why I was splitting it up so much. Yep. Of 10%. Or is it going to be 2K? It's going to be 2K, right, Michael? Because it's the difference between 30 and the 50?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And then 5K of this will go to Michael. So you can see that on this particular sale for very beginner, if there's a 1-star and a 3-star and a 5-star up the line of A, this brand new ICM, okay, and that ICM is Tom's, the ICM is going to actually make their own money, but Tom's going to get paid, Bill's going to get paid, and Michael's going to get paid. All on the one sale. And then obviously this guy is going to advance to a 1-star because he's had his first, or she has had their first $10,000, right? But now,
actually, it would just be 1K for the 3-star, because there's a 10% difference between the 1-star and the 3-star.
there is, but isn't there a 20% difference between this person who sold it?
But 3,000, 1,000, 2,000, and 5,000 is 11,000.
7, 8. Shoot.
So it's 3,115. 30%, 40%, 50%. So there's just a 10% difference as you go, and then
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, the 20% difference is counted when you do the 1,000 for the 1-star and the 1,000 for the 3-star. That's where you're getting the 20%.
All right. That's funny because I wasn't even going over that scenario until just now, and now I'm completely wrong. Awesome. Okay.
I did want to point out one thing real quick.
Yep.
For everyone who has a team member that has education but is not an ICM, if they want the credit for the purchase that they previously made to count in the new compensation plan, they need to be an ICM on or before June 14th, or else they will lose that grandfathering. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
So if you have someone on your team who's a combo holder but not an ICM, and they think that they're going to like this compensation plan, if they want the credit for their combo purchase in the past, and they want that credit grandfathered into the new compensation plan, They need to become an ICM before the new compensation plan.
Got it.
That's correct. We went over that quite a bit. We had a 3-hour call yesterday. Like I said, these guys have been studying it, working on it for a while before that. We've talked a couple other times, but one of the clarifications is that they were not going to grandfather. There's always a give and take, but they were not, when I say they, Bob and the corporate, whatever, they were trying to work it all out. They were not going to grandfather in your purchase until we worked it out. And so we never, and it's not that they didn't want to, it's just, it didn't make sense. And it was a computer thing that we've got to do, right? This systems, this programming, but they were able to work it out where Jay was able to program it. So your purchase will count and be grandfathered in. So especially if, like Sheena's, I think it was Lashana just said, 3-star qualified with essentials. Okay, so you're 3-star, you're at 15 grand and you have the essentials. But if you want your purchase to count towards your grandfathering transfer over into the new plan, then you will need to do the math and decide which is better for you, but you'll want to get that done before the 14th. Doesn't need to fund before the 14th. It just needs to be, the order needs to be placed and fund. It can't be placed and then die off because it only stays in the system now for 2 weeks. So once it's placed, signatures are verified, you've got to fund that thing in a couple weeks. Then that $10,000, or in this case, it would be a $9,000 generated CV that would transfer over, and that would go towards your 50 grand. Should I clarify, Michael, what we talked about last night, right? With depending on which is greater.
Right.
So I want to write this down. So understand that if you were at nationals, when we call you 3-star qualified, you have 15,000. Now, let's just say you sold, in addition to this, you purchased your combo. Okay, so you've generated 10 grand already of CV. That is grandfathered. Now, you're not going to get both of these. Watch this. Okay, let's just say you purchased your 10K and you've had 5 essential sales. Okay, you've never sold a combo, but you've had 5 essentials. Well, the CV on essentials is 1K times 5 is 15K. This is equivalent. These two things will not be added together. It'll be one or the other, whichever is greater. In this case, it's the same. If you purchased and you sold a combo, right? You sold one combo and you purchased, right? Then you've generated, in theory, 20K, but you went to nationals, all right? You're not going to get 3-star and add 20K, this and this. You're going to be at 20K. So you're naturally going to be already 3-star qualified, right? And you're going to have an additional 5 grand towards your 50K. So you only owe 30K, of which you make 50% of this 30K that you owe your 5-star. But the coolest thing is, not only do you generate 50% income for yourself on your next 30K, right? Because you're thinking, I only have one more sale. Not a big deal, because you're going to keep all the people that you enroll making this 30K. And they're going to be on your team, on your way to 5-star. So yeah, you've got your national, and you've got your 10K you sold, and you've got your 10K you purchased. Well, that adds up to your 20K over here. Boom, you've only got 30 left, and you're making commission, and you're keeping your people. So they're going to add all of your commissions that you've generated, your total gross CV and your purchase, add it together. If it's greater than 15 grand, which is your grandfathered in nationals ticket, then you're going to be at that level instead of just the 15 grand level, but they're not adding them together. So it's super cool for all of you. So you never lose anything. Everything is given to you. Nothing's taken away. It's all enhanced. It's all better. It's all cooler. And I'll finish with this scenario, and then we make sure we don't have any. So my buddy Lee, he's won an award with us. He's doing real estate. I mean, it's him and his wife Sandy. They enrolled their daughter Krista. She's on our team. Full combo. He's had a couple of essential sales. He's had that have paid him, and essential sales to get 1-star qualified. He also went to the nationals, so he's 3-star qualified. He also, and I say he and Sandy, they also sold their first combo and their first advance. He's $6,000 away in his bucket from being 5-star qualified. And he's going, wait a minute, what is going to happen to me? All right. So this is a complicated grandfathered over. The cool thing is we added up all of his scenario. And if I remember correctly, he's at about $18,000 left of what needs to be transferred up. That's going to grandfather over. So he forget his nationals ticket. He's already exceeded that. He also purchased his combo. So he's got 10 there. He made a sale, a combo sale. He's got 10 there. He's made several essentials. He's got another 4 there. And he made an advance. He's got another 6,000 there. It all added up to like 34 grand or 32 grand. So the cool thing is, yeah, he goes from owing 6 grand down to now 18,000. He's like, well, wait, and then when I spell it out, I'm like, dude, check it out. Of the 18,000 he owes, he's going to pocket 9 grand of it, 50%. And if it takes 2 or 3 or 4 people to get this 18,000, all 4 of those people are no longer rolling up to Billy Predebon. They're sticking with Sandy and they're sticking with Sandy and blah, 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 and Lee. And let's just say those ICMs don't make any sales prior to Lee and Sandy getting 5-star qualified, then everything they make is going to go directly to them. That whole 50 grand on all 4 of those people or 3 of those people. And if one of them makes one little sale prior to them getting 5-star, I'm only going to make the difference on their commission on that. That makes sense? Super cool, right, Michael? Is that good?
Yep.
So you would think, like, and when we went through it last night on our training, he was like, "Oh yeah, I got to wrap my head around this." And and he's like, "Wow, like I can make more money and keep more people in the new comp plan when I'm only 6,000 away from being 5-star qualified." And he's already made money in the business, not just the startups, but all kinds of things, right? So now he's like pretty excited that it enhances everybody's lives. Okay. Bob Snyder only adds value. Keely, awesome. Great point. It's 8:05. So I'm going to let the man himself jump out here because you might have some points that I didn't cover in this only 50 minutes that we have. Michael?
Just a simple thing I want to clarify with Miguel is you either get the 15K for attending nationals and being 3-star, or you get the 10K from buying your combo, but not both. And the system will default to whichever one's higher. So you would just be defaulted to a 3-star 15K in CV. Now, if you bought a combo, sold a combo, then you would get the 20, like what Bill said. But nobody's going to be at 25. There's no grandfathering in at a 25.
Yep. So if you've not bought your combo and you went to nationals and you were 197 to holder, you're at 15. So if you buy your combo today, you're not going to go up to 25. You're actually going to be at 15 still. So you don't have to buy your combo just to enhance the comp plan. However, you're missing out. In my opinion, the next 2 weeks, business as usual. I don't care what my team does. I want you to keep marching forward, keep adding value, keep bringing people. It doesn't matter. But there are a few select people who, that are in situations, you guys, and your team members, and get them up and running, because if they've sold anything over and above and they went to nationals or whatever it is, went to nationals, but if they sold anything and they purchased, they're going to be above the 15 grand. It could make a big difference for them in their new comp plan, right, Michael?
Right. Yeah. So LaShawn, I actually typed it incorrectly, but Sheena has the same question as you. So I'm 1-star now. I'm 3-star now. I already purchased my essentials and my profits. If I upgrade to AIT, will I receive the CV on this purchase? Well, because you're at 3-star, you have the 15K in CV credit. So if you upgrade, you would get 10,000, or for right now, it would be 9,000 because you already own your essentials. So if you upgrade to the combo, you would get 9,000 in CV. So you either get the 9,000 or the 15, but not both of them. And the system will default to the higher one.
So LaShawn, if you don't own the, right, Michael, if she does not own the AIT Extreme, that's a $9,000 generation, and you've already bought Profits and Essentials. That's 1,000 and 1,200. That puts you at, so you're technically your 3-star qualified is higher than buying all 3 of those products. But if you've sold anything, LaShawn, let's just say you sold 5 Essentials, then buying your AIT Advanced today would make a difference for you. You'd actually be past the 15. So either way, obviously, LaShawn, we know you're getting there and that you want it, and so we're not. I mean, you know, the sooner the better. Don't wait for any reason, but you're still going to be at 15 grand, 15K in your 50K. So you're 3-star qualified. You're going to be making 50% from there on out, regardless. So you're in good shape both ways, but just get your combo.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. 50%.
Yep.
So, and yeah, CV credit will still accrue over the next 14 days. So if you make more sales and you pass that 15,000 mark, then you will get, you would get that additional money on top of that. But it wouldn't be.
Will likely soon be our 3rd name school of the season. Not yet. We're just going to do updated for the National Hurricane.
Maggie, did you have a question? Oh no, she just came up.
I have a question.
One of the slides said, okay, so you just answered that, right, Michael, for Dawn?
I didn't see a question for Don. Oh, one of the slides said if anything is purchased from the next 2 weeks, it will be added onto the 15 CV. Is that correct? I don't think so. I thought it was just.
No, it's from what the slide I saw and the talks we had, Dawn and everybody, it's definitely whichever's higher. And so if you make a purchase, it will be included. But if you're already at 15 and the purchase is less than 15, the purchase will count. The purchase of your sale is like you're making a sale. We allow you to count your purchase as a sale. So it's a cumulative CV. You're going to add that to all your other CVs. If you've sold anything, bought anything, all that's going to be CV, total commission value. Not the gross sale, but the total commission value. Add that all up. If it's greater than 15, it's going to make a difference. Now, if you never went to nationals, you're at 0. If you're not going to nationals, you're at 0. You're a 1-star, or you've only sold whatever. Then your purchase absolutely makes a difference because you're not grandfathered in at the 15,000 for nationals. So you definitely want to get your package going right away, whatever you can get into immediately in the next 2 weeks. So that will up your bucket. You could buy your combo today and be 1-star qualified by the transfer, having never done anything and or even gone to nationals. Does that make sense? So that's why they're saying anything purchased in the next 2 weeks is going to apply. But if it doesn't exceed the 15 grand from the nationals ticket, then that person will stay at the 15,000 with the nationals ticket. It won't be added on.
Good morning. Do you guys hear me?
Yes. Go ahead, Maggie.
Hi, good morning. So that's exactly my situation. I am a 3-star and I've been waiting for a partner to do the entire education and buy the EXP combo. But it's not worth it for me to do it now because if I wait after the 14th, I get paid 50%, correct? On my own, on buying my own education?
So here's what I want you guys to realize. Anytime, and I know you didn't do this on purpose, Meg, it's totally cool, but you know us. Anytime we say it's not worth it to do it now, that language gives us this reason that we don't have, like the education standalone product, for me, it's changed my life. So the minute you can get into the education, it is not going to it's not going to bear any weight on your compensation plan. Maggie, you're 3-star qualified. The greatest part about that is you've just been given a gift that you can make a sale in 2 weeks from now or tomorrow, and that'll count. But in 2 weeks from now, you can make a sale and start making 50% of the next $35,000 that you generate, which is $17,500, and you never have to purchase the education. So you can, in theory, make $17,500 over the next 35 grand, 3 or 4 people that you enroll make the money and buy the combo, and you're in. But just know that it always makes sense for anybody, your students alone, when you're 5-star qualified, to enroll as soon as possible, because real estate is a process, and there's so much opportunity that is being passed by when we don't have the knowledge. And I know you guys know this, but when it comes to this compensation plan and being grandfathered over, you purchasing your combo today is not going to make a difference in your $50,000 CV, because you're already 5-star, 3-star qualified at 15 grand. Did that help?
Yes, thank you. It's just that I've been waiting for a partner for
Cool.
the education part.
You could go
I
to work.
definitely want it.
Yeah, you could go to work on this marketing plan, bust out your 50 names and get it to your 5-star, start making enrollments over the next, 4 weeks. And by nationals, you could have your combo paid for by yourself just from enrolling students, because now you have that benefit.
Great. Thank you, guys.
I have a quick question. So if I were to sell an X combo now,
Yep.
and I understand they will get that credit, their CV credit, but do I also get the CV credit? Does that get added to my total sales? Because my total sales are actually over my 15,000 credit, CV credit that I would get from my 3-star.
Yeah, that's great. Is it Ada or Ada?
Ada.
Ada, perfect. And I knew that. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, so if whatever your CV's total sale, that 10 grand will go over and above. So you'll kind of just disregard the fact that you were grandfathered in at the 15 grand for nationals, and you'll just add up all your total CV, and you'll be in the 20s or more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so right now I'm at 19 with my total sales, including my own, well, actually, do I get credit for my, I get CV, actually I might be a little higher. I forgot about my,
Profits?
my profits. Yeah, I didn't add that in. So actually,
Yeah, so you just on yourself, you've generated 11.2 plus anything you've sold,
which would be 9 additional, because I sold 9 essentials so far.
so you're at 20,200, and let's just say you sell a combo tomorrow, you'd be at 30,200. You'd skip the 15. You're still 3-star qualified, and you're making 50%. You only owe 19,800 left, but you'll be making 50% of that 19,800.
Now, just to be clear, so my person who purchases, they also get credit on their own sales. I mean, their own purchase, correct? If they purchase now.
So
okay, that's or they would
it's
still get
awesome.
credit.
So if they do it now, the coolest thing is they're gonna start out at 1-star qualified in 2 weeks, and they've never went to nationals, they never purchased any, or they never sold anything, but their sale will roll over as if they made a $10,000 sale, which was to themselves. And that 10 grand, they're already at 10 grand, gives them 1-star qualified. They're making 40% on their next 5 grand. And then they're making 50%. They could make 50% of half of their very first combo sale.
Awesome. Thank you, Bill.
Yep.
So Dustin pointed out one other thing with the lady who was saying, I'm waiting for my partner to do something. You gotta remember that if you sell the combos, your customers get grandfathered in, and they would absolutely thank you for that. So whether you benefit or not because you're a 3-star and you make a sale and it doesn't necessarily count towards you because it might be under the 15, don't think about yourself in that scenario. Think about them. They would be grandfathered in with 10,000 in CV already.
There's no question. You could, Michael, that's such a great point, Dustin. Michael, you guys, if you share that benefit, the gratefulness that they would have, the appreciation and thankfulness that they would have towards you for benefiting them and putting them in a position to come out of the horse gate, 5 lengths ahead of everybody, is ahead of themselves, is just such a powerful thing. When you can give back before you're even you're even in a position to give back, but just by having that knowledge, you can give back to somebody that you're enrolling, and it could make all the difference for them. So absolutely that it will benefit them. Good point. Michael, I got 8:18. Are you planning on going over this with Dane tomorrow? Are you going to have him train? Are you going to, anything you want to say before we end up?
Just remember that Yeah, I might be on with Dane tomorrow too. Just want to remind everyone that they are doing the Jam podcast Q&A later today. So if you want to hop on that YouTube channel, I'm just going to drop it in the chat box here. That's going to be at 1 p.m. Mountain Time.
Is that the jam session, right?
Yep. So you can, it'll just be on that YouTube channel there, and everyone can hop on. And I think Jay Stark and Matt Snyder are going to be very impressed with our team here because of their level of understanding of the comp plan now that we've talked yesterday and today. So just hop on and enjoy the conversation with them as well later today.
Yeah, this is great. Everybody for participating yesterday on Michael's, Michael, thanks for hosting a 2-hour event right after that. I mean, we had I had 9 hours of webinars yesterday, but we had literally, I didn't get any work done. But understanding this is so powerful, you guys, for setting yourself up. This is like the legwork behind the scenes that projects you into a large a business of your own. And so thanks for being here today. Thanks for being on that yesterday. Jump on the jam session with Jay and Matt. And then, of course, we've got Dane tomorrow and Wanda on Thursday. And Michael will chime in and get some clarity, you guys. And any questions you guys have, don't hold back, because everybody's thinking the same thing. And you can even see me. I'm sitting there, I'm no different. I'm one of you guys just sitting there going, oh yeah, I can't remember if this goes there. So totally get it and jump in and chime in. And it'll help everybody when you have a question.
Hey, Bill.
Yes, sir, Doug.
Is Bill and Michael, I guess, to you guys, is this recorded? Was that recorded yesterday, Michael, for your Q&A session?
Yes.
Where can I get the replay?
We will put it on the Team Elevate YouTube channel, just like where we put all these recordings.
Okay.
Cool. Yep. And this one's recorded too, so we can put that up there.
Super.
And
Cool.
You mentioned this is 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time today
Correct.
for the YouTube channel?
Yeah, the jam session with Matt.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, Frank, for sure, brother. You're a good man. You got my number, I think, Frank, if you need anything. And I'll put that up. I always do, and I forgot to do that. Just some of you guys are new. 760-533-3141. 760-533-3141. It's in the chat. 760-533-3141. You guys got my number if you ever need anything. All right. I will end meeting for all. Is everybody good? Michael, you good? All right.
Up.
Awesome. Oh, I think Keely, you got to do it if you're still there, Keel Beals.
Yep, I'm here. Thanks so
Okay.
much for your guys' time today. See you later, everybody.
Awesome, everybody.
Adios.
Thanks. You're welcome, Bobby. Thank you, everybody.